YouTube! More Ibanez Roadster stars. This is a Roadster. A Roadster. It's got an E in it, which I think is just a spelling mistake, basically. Because when they came back, they had a Roadster 2, but there's no Roadster 1, so I think they just didn't really care. This has got some interesting stuff going on about it. I've done a video of this talking about it with Scott during the week. So this is more of a playing demo. This is my pal Ivor's. We've got this same Super 6 pickups that are in my Blazer. It's got the most amazing hardtail bridge, which I don't know if I really... It's just a solid, massive metal. Those are the sort of saddles that should be in Scott's Roadster. Yeah. Let's pick up. Position 2. Middle. Position 4. I made in the last video. I'm doing the loop track. I should turn the volume down so it's not. Yeah, I can't remember what chords I was playing down. Then hopefully now you can hear the solo tone. This one is really nice. With my last choice of colour for the guitar being all black, but it's got a sort of Darth Vader look to it. And looking at it in the picture there, I can see this one's got a massive headstock. Much bigger than that. I think it's might be even bigger than my Blazer actually. When I say it was bigger than the Blazer, I would say so, definitely. Yeah, definitely bigger than the Blazer. So they obviously decided that massive headstocks weren't so good, and over the years it just gets smaller and smaller. But the neck on this is an absolute beauty. It's got funny tuners on it. These are Ibanez patent pending. I don't really like these. See there's a wee collar there for the tension. See if you use string winders, it unscrews the thing and the top of the machine head falls off. That's hence why you get your Ibanez smooth tuners, which are just standard GoTo units, which all tuners are a copy of. These are the original ones. There, I prefer them, but they work fine. Yeah, not really much to say about this guitar apart from it's awesome, and this is the first one. So this is 19, see your number? C80. I thought it said made in the USA there, it's made in Japan. Obviously, so again, Fujigen, although I don't think that one's Fujigen, I think it's made by a company called Dyna. But and this one has a two-piece neck, whereas the Blazers have a one-piece with a skunk stripe at the back. This one doesn't, it's got a separate fingerboard. My theory is, I've talked about all this in the RG video, this is only a... So check out the me and Scott doing the history of the RG to Roadster to RG. Distortion. Same thing every single video. I've done pretty much nothing to this guitar. This still has the wee rubber tractor wheel things, which are missing from Scott's Roadster 2. But I mean, all I did with this guitar was give it a clean, put new strings on it, and adjusted the truss rod a wee tiny amount. Never did anything else. It just plays brilliantly. Oh, it's too strung. So it's got like a brass block on the back coming through this monster, absolute monster AccuCast bridge, which I'm totally honest, to make this bridge would probably cost more than what you pay to buy just the bridge. Forget the saddles, just to cast the bridge probably costs more than what a modern Squire cost to make. I know, because I was in China when I was buying guitars I wasn't even buying them direct for the factory in bulk, but I was buying one. Okay, I did. My gorgeous girlfriend did tell the guy I was buying it off that if it was really good I might buy a pallet of them, because I'm a UK importer. So I probably got the best ones he had, but I know how much they cost out the factory for buying one, and that wasn't even direct from the factory, so there was obviously, I don't know, 20% on top of what it came from the factory with. And for that price I would think, yeah, totally, that's how much this bridge cost, never mind anything else. And quality wise it's absolute top notch. They spent the next few years kind of evolving. So this is I believe the first Ibanez Strat original design Strat. They did make Ibanez didn't make them, but they did brand like Strat copies in the 70s, and then there was a lawsuit and a cease and desist because the guitars were kind of better than what Gibson and Fender were making. So it was like Gibson sued them and Fender employed them. So Fender Japan is same factory. Basically it's a Fender Japan, like that one there is basically this, apart from its Fender shape. This is a slightly more, it's got these wee hooky bits on it, and it's, there's, let's call them improvements. It's only got one tone control. One of the biggest differences I mean, these guitars are fantastic. This one's actually got quite big frets on it. I think they get slightly, so they started off with quite big frets, then they get a wee bit smaller. But I really can't fault anything about these. As I said in the last video, which was probably last week for you guys, Scott was talking about maybe collecting them, and it's like I could totally see why someone would have. I don't really see the point in having, you get a lot of people that have like 10 Strats, and it's like, I don't really see the point in that, because they're kind of all the same. Okay, maybe slight differences, but at least with these they do progress. It's a different. This bridge didn't last very much longer because it was too expensive, so it went on to a simpler bridge, and then the pickups changed and the headstock changed and the radius of the finger. Everything changed every year from like 1980 to 1986 again. So this is the last one before the Steve Vai Gem came out, and then since then they still make it as the Steve Vai Gem. Or there's still the Steve Vai Gem shape RG. You can still buy, you know, you can get them anything for, I don't know what the cheapest Geo one is, what, 120 quid or something like that, up to, you know, handmade in Japan, $2,000. They still make them. At this point, Ibanez didn't really do that. They did get more like that though. By the time it got to sort of 86, they did have a heck of a lot of guitars in the, you know, the catalogue. Back in this sort of era, you know, the catalogue maybe had 3 or 4 Strati type guitars, 3 or 4, you know, of each range, sort of, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 guitars in the catalogue, whereas by the time, obviously now if you're looking at Ibanez RGs, they definitely make 40 or 50 different models of just the RG. For every single price point between, you know, for your basic beginner's guitar, which, to be honest, are damn good. Even the cheapest Ibanez are always good after a certain era. I bet definitely after from 1980 or 1978 or something onwards, you don't get crap Ibanez anything. I think in the 70s it was a bit more hit and miss. You kind of have to know what you're looking for. But in this era, it's like, they're just great. This was built with no. This was just built to be an amazing guitar. They were trying to make the best Stratocaster guitar. There wasn't any constraints on it. I don't think it didn't have the. Oh right, what's the price? The dollar point. You know, are we trying to make this for $200? Or it was like, no, we're trying to make the best guitar, and when it's made, we'll add our 20% for, you know, profit, and then that's how much it costs. Type thing. I think later on they started making cheaper ones. But even with the cheaper ones, they still spent the time on the things that matter. So even with if you go to your Geo ones and stuff like that, most of the money on the guitar was spent on making sure the neck was right, it was in the right place, and you know, the frets were good. You can easily upgrade pickups. You know, the bridges maybe not fantastic, but all functional, and they haven't spent any money at all on putting tone plastic binding and fancy inlays and making it look fancy. You know, it's like one of my main downsides about the Ibanez RG is it's just too utilitarian. I know a Telly's really utilitarian, which is one of the reasons I like it, but the RG is very utilitarian. It's like a total tool. You can't beat it. It's just, you look at it and you go, it's got no. It doesn't have any of the blight. It doesn't look like that. You know, that for me is just like, that's just fantastic looking. In its genes, it's only a year before the RG came out, so it kind of is. Well, it is actually an RG. It's an RG 530 from '86, but it just looks so much nicer than any of the what we now call RGs. I think just there's something about it. It's that when you get too utilitarian, this is, I guess, it's quite utilitarian as well. It doesn't have a scratch plate. I do quite like these pickup rings. I didn't like them. Reminds me very much of that Yamaha I've got in the wall there. So there we go. So this is Ivor's. Cheers for the shot of it, Ivor. Roadster. So the Roadster and the Roadstar, which makes it difficult to hunt for them. So if you're looking for one of these on eBay, you have to put in Roadster, and then you have to search for Roadstar to get to find them both. So if I typed in Road, I always could never remember which one it was. I didn't realise. I thought people just made the spelling mistake. I didn't realise Ibanez had actually made that same mistake, assuming that that's the Roadster. I don't know. I need to work out what the reason is. I wonder if there was maybe somebody else had a Roadster. You know, did some other company have the rights to the name Roadster and they changed it to Roadstar or Roadstar 2 with blazers in the middle? Rock on! I'm going to do a bass now.